Hello, my dear ones. I'm so happy to be here with you. Let's take a deep breath together. And just for a moment, allow your shoulders to soften, your jaw to release, your heart to open. You see, so much of our suffering comes not from what happens to us, but from our endless attempts to control, to predict, to push life into the shape we think it should be. We cling, we resist, we hold so tightly, and in that tension, we create pain. But trusting the universe is not about sitting back and doing nothing. It is about releasing the struggle. It is about loosening your grip on fear and saying, "Life loves me and I am safe." It is about stepping into the flow of life instead of swimming against the current. When you stop forcing, when you stop insisting that everything must go your way, you make space. And in that space, miracles can enter. In that space, love can reach you. In that space, the universe can bring you exactly what you need, often in ways more beautiful than you could have imagined. So I want you to hear me. Trusting the universe does not mean giving up. It means opening up. It is not weakness, it is strength. It is the courage to let go of the illusion of control and step into the truth of connection. The truth that you are supported, guided, and held by a power greater than your fears. And when you allow life to flow, life flows to you, through you, and for you. My darling ones, let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how the seasons change without asking for your permission? The flowers bloom, the leaves fall, the snow melts, the sun rises again. Life is a constant dance of beginnings and endings. And yet, so many of us resist this simple truth. Everything changes, everything transforms, everything is born, dissolves, and is reborn again. Change is not the enemy. Change is life itself. You see, one of the greatest causes of suffering is this. We cling. We hold on to relationships that no longer nurture us, jobs that no longer inspire us, patterns of thinking that no longer serve us. We tell ourselves, "I cannot let this go," and yet by refusing to release, we close the door to the blessings that are trying to enter. The truth is, when something leaves your life, it is not always loss. It is space being created for something greater. Every ending is also a beginning. Every goodbye carries the seed of a hello. Every release makes way for renewal. I want you to hear this with your heart. You are safe in change. You are safe when life shifts. You are safe even when everything feels uncertain. Why? Because life is always moving you toward growth, toward expansion, toward love. Think of the caterpillar. If it refused to let go of its cocoon, it would never become the butterfly. The cocoon must dissolve for the wings to unfold, and the same is true for you. The old must fall away so the new can rise. Sometimes the change comes gently, like the soft falling of autumn leaves. Sometimes it comes like a storm, fierce and unexpected. But always, always it comes to teach you something, to prepare you, to stretch you, to open you to more of who you truly are. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you can learn to ask, "What is this teaching me?" Instead of resisting, you can begin to embrace. Instead of clinging, you can begin to trust. And yes, I know, it hurts when things end. It hurts when people leave, when doors close, when chapters finish. But what if I told you, nothing ever truly leaves you? The love remains, the lessons remain, the growth remains. The form may change, but the essence is eternal. That is why I often say, in the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. Even when things appear to fall apart, beneath it all, there is only the perfection of life rearranging itself for your highest good. So let me remind you, my dear ones, do not fear change, welcome it. Do not curse endings, bless them. Do not grip so tightly that your hands are too full to receive. Life is your teacher, and change is its most faithful lesson. Every shift is a message. Grow here, release here, expand here. And when you listen, when you soften, when you trust, you will discover that change is not here to break you. It is here to bless you. Change is the river of life. You cannot stop it, but you can flow with it. You cannot control it, but you can trust it. You cannot cling to the shore forever, but you can open your arms to the current and let it carry you to new horizons. And when you do, you will find peace. Not because life stopped changing, but because you learned to dance with its rhythm. So take a deep breath now and whisper to yourself, I am safe in change. I am open to new beginnings. I trust the process of life. Feel the relief in those words. Feel the release. Feel the truth. Because when you stop fighting against what is, you begin to live in harmony with what can be. And in that harmony, my loves, you will find your peace. Let me share with you a moment from my own journey, my loves. There were times in my life when I felt lost, when I thought I had no idea what to do next. I would sit in my garden or in my living room and cry out, Life, please show me the way. And do you know what always happened? Somehow, a book would fall into my hands, or a friend would call with words I needed to hear, or I would notice a phrase on a billboard that spoke directly to my heart. Those were not coincidences. Those were signals. Those were the whispers of the universe. The universe is always speaking, always guiding, always sending you little love notes. The question is, are you listening? You see, when we are trapped in fear, when our minds are noisy with worry and control, we miss these signals. They come as synchronicities, as gentle nudges, as opportunities that appear almost too simple to matter. But nothing is too small. Nothing is random. If you are open, if you are willing to be quiet for a moment, you will see that guidance is everywhere. It may be the song that comes on the radio just when you need it. It may be the stranger's smile reminding you that you are not invisible. It may be the sudden idea that pops into your mind when you stop pushing so hard. Life speaks in whispers, and if you do not listen to the whisper, it will speak louder. I want you to imagine this. Your heart is like an antenna, always receiving signals. When you tune in with stillness, when you quiet the endless chatter, you catch the signal clearly. That signal is your intuition. That signal is the universe saying, this way, my dear. And yet so many of us doubt it. We think, oh, that's just my imagination. That's nothing. But what if your imagination is the bridge to the divine? What if your feelings, your hunches, your subtle knowings are the language of the universe? Doubt closes the door. Trust opens it wide. So I invite you to begin practicing a new way of living. Listen. Listen not only with your ears, but with your whole being. When you wake in the morning, instead of rushing into the day, pause and ask, Life, what do you want me to know today? Then pay attention. A sentence in a conversation may be your answer. A delay may be protection. A closed door may be direction. There are no accidents. There is only guidance. And I know, my dear ones, it takes courage to trust these signals. We live in a world that teaches us to rely only on logic, on evidence, on what we can touch and measure. But the truth is, some of the most powerful truths cannot be measured. They can only be felt. Love cannot be weighed on a scale, yet it is real. Hope cannot be locked in a jar, yet it sustains us. Guidance from the universe is like that, unseen but deeply felt. When you choose to trust, when you choose to act on that gentle nudge, you step into partnership with life itself. I want you to practice this with me. The next time you sense a little pull in your heart, instead of dismissing it, whisper, "Thank you, universe, I hear you." The next time an opportunity feels aligned, even if it scares you, say, "I trust the flow of life to guide me." And the next time you notice a pattern of synchronicity, smile and remember, you are not alone. You are being guided every step of the way. So ask yourself now, what signs have I been ignoring? What whispers have I brushed aside? What nudges have I doubted? Because the moment you decide to listen, the moment you decide to trust, the signals grow stronger. Life begins to feel magical, not because it suddenly changed, but because you finally tuned in. And my dear ones, when you tune in, you realize the universe was never silent. It was always singing to you, always guiding you home. Now let us go even deeper together, my loves. We have talked about how the universe sends signals, how life whispers to us every day. But here is the next step. What stops us from following those signals? What stands between us and the miracles waiting to unfold? So often, it is not the world outside. It is the story inside. The old, tired story that repeats itself in your mind. I'm not good enough. I'm too old. That opportunity is not for someone like me. Do these words sound familiar to you? Of course they do, because we have all heard them in our own minds. But here is the truth I want you to carry in your heart. Those are not truths. They are illusions. They are echoes of the past, not the voice of your future. Let me remind you, the universe never tells you that you are too old, too broken, too late, too unworthy. That voice of limitation is not the voice of life. It is the voice of fear, the voice of conditioning, the voice of wounds that have not yet healed. And yet, when we believe those voices, we build walls around ourselves. We create cages without realizing it. We become prisoners of our own beliefs. It is not life that limits us. It is the belief that we are limited. Think about it, my dear ones. A baby is not born thinking, "I am not enough." A child does not question if she deserves love. She simply reaches out, simply plays, simply shines. She is free. But over time, from the words of others, from disappointments, from fears, she begins to build layers of doubt. And then, as adults, we forget the truth. We forget that we are infinite beings. We forget that possibility has no age, that creativity has no expiration date, that love and abundance do not belong only to the young or the lucky. We forget, and in forgetting, we suffer. But you are here to remember. You are here to reclaim your truth. Every time you say, "I can't," you close a door. Every time you say, "I am willing," you open one. Every time you repeat the old story, you reinforce the cage. Every time you choose a new thought, you strengthen your wings. Which will you choose? Let me share something with you. I did not publish my first major book until I was in my late 50s. People told me it was too late, that I should settle, that my time had passed. But I refused to believe that. I told myself, I am safe, I am supported, life loves me. And do you know what happened? My work reached millions, not because I had no limitations, but because I chose not to believe in them. I chose to believe in the limitless. And if I could do it, so can you. Age is not a barrier. Time is not a barrier. The only barrier is belief. I want you to ask yourself right now, what belief have I been carrying that is keeping me small? Is it, I'm too busy? Is it, I don't have the talent? Is it, no one will love me if I fail? And then I want you to breathe and say with me, "That is just a story. I am not my story. I am free to choose again." Because, my dear ones, freedom does not begin outside of you. It begins inside with the choice to stop believing in illusions. The universe is infinite. Opportunities are infinite. Love is infinite. But when you close your mind with "I can't" or "I don't deserve," you cannot see the gifts that are waiting. It is as if the sunlight is shining brightly, but you have covered your eyes with your own hands. The moment you move your hands, the light was always there. The moment you release the false beliefs, the opportunities were always there. Life never withheld from you. It was only your own beliefs that kept you from receiving. So let's practice together. Place your hand on your heart and whisper, "I release the old story. I am willing to see myself as limitless. I am open to the infinite good that is here for me now." Say it again. Say it until it feels real, because repetition is how we dissolve the illusion and anchor the truth. The more you affirm your freedom, the more your life begins to mirror it back to you. And I promise you this, when you let go of the illusion of limitation, life becomes spacious. You begin to notice possibilities that were always there but hidden by fear. You begin to meet people who reflect your new energy. You begin to feel alive again, hopeful again, free again. You begin to understand that the universe never judged you, never limited you, never told you that you were not enough. That was only the echo of pain. And now you have the power to release it. So I leave you with this truth. Your limitations are not real, but your power is. Your doubts are not real, but your potential is. Your fear is not real, but your spirit is. Do not let illusions decide your future. You are bigger than your fear, stronger than your story, and freer than you know. Life is waiting, the universe is cheering, and your only task is to open the door. Now, my loves, tell me, are you ready to let go of the illusion? Are you ready to say goodbye to "I can't" and hello to "I am willing"? Because the moment you say yes, the moment you open even a little, the universe rushes in to meet you. And in that moment, you will discover what you were meant to know all along. You are limitless, you are loved, and you are free. My beautiful friends, let's pause for a moment and breathe this in together. You see, we have been taught our whole lives that strength means control. Control of people, control of circumstances, control of outcomes. But I want to offer you a new perspective. Real power does not come from controlling. Real power comes from trusting. When you are in control, you are tense, rigid, fearful. When you are in trust, you are open, flowing, supported, and life meets you in that openness. Think of it this way. Fear and love are two very different teachers. Fear whispers, "Hold on tighter, push harder, never let go because something bad might happen." Fear teaches us to grip, to force, to doubt. But love says, "You are safe, you are guided, you can let go now." Love teaches us to soften, to open, to accept. Fear equals control, love equals trust. Fear equals resistance, love equals flow. Fear shrinks you, love expands you. And at every moment, you have the choice of which teacher to listen to. I want you to notice how you feel in your body when you try to control everything. Your shoulders tighten, your breath becomes shallow, your mind races with what if. And yet, the more you control, the more exhausted you become, because life is not meant to be controlled, it is meant to be lived. Now notice how you feel when you lean into trust. Your shoulders drop, your breath deepens, your heart softens. Suddenly, You remember that you don't have to carry the whole universe on your back, because the universe is carrying you. When you let go, you don't lose power, you return to it. And I know, my loves, this is not always easy. Letting go can feel scary, especially if you've been hurt before. But let me remind you, control is only an illusion of safety. Trust is the real safety. Control is exhausting. Trust is liberating. Control comes from fear. Trust comes from love. And love is what heals you. Love is what restores you. Love is what connects you back to life itself. Now, trusting does not mean doing nothing. Trusting means acting, but acting from a place of peace instead of panic. It means choosing your words not from fear of rejection, but from love of truth. It means pursuing your dreams not because you are terrified of failure, but because you believe in possibility. It means showing up, not with clenched fists, but with open hands. Trusting is not passive, it is powerful. Trusting is not weak, it is the bravest choice you can make. So let's practice this shift together. Place your hand over your heart and say with me, I release the need to control. I trust the flow of life. I trust myself. I trust the universe. Feel those words. Let them sink in. Every time fear rises and urges you to tighten your grip, return to this affirmation. Say it until your body believes it, because the truth is, you are safe enough to let go. You are strong enough to trust. And you are loved enough to surrender. Remember, my dear ones, your strength is not in how tightly you hold on, but in how gracefully you let go. Your power is not in control, but in trust. Your freedom is not in fear, but in love. And when you live this way, when you move from fear into love, you will find that life becomes gentler, richer, more miraculous than you ever imagined. Now let me ask you, are you ready to put down the heavy burden of control and pick up the lightness of trust? Are you ready to step out of fear and step into love? Because the moment you say yes, the universe rushes to support you. The moment you surrender, you discover that surrender is not the end of power. It is the beginning of it. I am a simple woman, my dear ones, so I love to share with you simple ways, because healing, trusting, and opening to life does not have to be complicated. The universe is not complicated. Love is not complicated. It is only our minds that make things heavy and complex. So let me offer you 5 gentle, simple steps you can practice every day to strengthen your trust in the universe, to loosen the grip of fear, and to open your heart to peace. The first step is recognize what you are clinging to. Ask yourself honestly, what am I trying to control right now? Is it a relationship? Is it someone's opinion of you? Is it money, health, timing, or the future? You cannot release what you are unwilling to see. Awareness is the doorway to freedom. When you shine the light of awareness on your attachments, you take away their hidden power. Remember this truth. When you see clearly, you can choose differently. The second step is relax into this moment. Place your hand on your heart. Take a slow, deep breath and whisper, I release. I let go. I trust. Feel the shoulders drop, the jaw soften, the breath deepen. The more you practice letting go in little moments, the easier it becomes in bigger ones. Life does not ask you to leap in one giant step. It asks you to soften, moment by moment. Each breath is a chance to surrender. Each breath is a chance to return to peace. The third step is listen to your intuition. Your mind shouts, but your heart whispers. And so often you miss the whispers because you are too busy following the noise of fear. But when you grow still, When you place your attention inside, you will hear guidance, soft, clear, loving. Ask, what is true for me right now? Ask, what step feels peaceful? And then trust the answer that rises, even if it's quiet, even if it's different from what your fear tells you. Your intuition is the voice of the universe within you. The fourth step is take inspired action. Trust does not mean you sit and wait forever. Trust means you act, but from love instead of fear. Sometimes the action will look small, a phone call, a smile, an email, a walk. But do not dismiss the small steps. They are the bridge to the bigger ones. The universe speaks in nudges, in gentle pushes, in synchronicities. When you feel a spark of inspiration, honor it. Move with it. Say yes to it. Because every inspired action is your way of saying to life, I am ready, I am available, I am willing. And the fifth step is gratitude and patience. Oh, how powerful these two are together. Gratitude is the signal you send to the universe that says, I see the good, I celebrate the good, I welcome more good. Patience is the trust that allows things to unfold in their own divine timing. Together, they form a sacred partnership. Gratitude keeps your heart open. Patience keeps your heart steady. When you combine gratitude with patience, miracles have no choice but to find you. So let us put this together. Recognize where you cling. Relax into this moment. Listen to your heart. Take inspired steps and practice gratitude with patience. Simple steps, but powerful ones. And remember, you do not have to do them perfectly. You only have to do them with love. Every time you choose one of these steps, even in the smallest way, you are saying to the universe, I trust you. I trust myself. I trust the flow of life. Now, take a deep breath with me. Feel how even now, in this simple moment, you can let go just a little more. And remember, life is not against you. Life is for you. The universe is not withholding. The universe is guiding. The more you trust, the more you receive. My beautiful friends, let me ask you a gentle question. Can you imagine what your life would look like if you truly trusted the universe? Just picture it for a moment. Picture waking up in the morning and instead of feeling that knot of tension in your chest, you feel a calm softness. Instead of rushing into the day trying to control, trying to manage, trying to fix, what if you opened your eyes and whispered, life loves me and I am safe? Do you feel the difference? One way is heavy, tight, exhausting. The other is light, free, peaceful. When you live with trust, you stop fighting life. You stop struggling against what is. And in that surrender, a miracle happens. Peace replaces stress. Calm replaces chaos. You are no longer running on fear. You are resting in love. And when you are resting in love, your body relaxes, your mind clears, your heart opens. You begin to see possibilities that were always there, but hidden by your worry. Trust is the doorway to peace. Peace is the doorway to healing. Healing is the doorway to joy. And something else unfolds when you live with trust. Opportunities arrive, sometimes big, sometimes small, but always perfectly timed. You find yourself in the right place at the right moment, meeting the right person, hearing the right words. Some people call it coincidence, some call it luck. I call it alignment. It is the universe responding to your openness. It is the law of life. When you let go, life can flow. And that flow always carries you toward greater good. Think about your relationships. How much tension in relationships comes from trying to control the other person? trying to get them to act the way you want, trying to change them so you feel safe. And yet, what happens when you release that grip? When you stop controlling and start trusting? The relationship softens, harmony grows. Because when you no longer need to control, you make space for love. Love cannot grow in control. Love grows in freedom. When you trust the universe, you trust the people in your life to be who they are. And in that acceptance, love blossoms. And yes, when you live with trust, joy returns. Joy is natural. Joy is your birthright. But fear and control block joy. They push it down. They bury it under layers of what if and should and must. When you trust, those layers fall away. You laugh more. You smile more. You breathe deeper. You notice the little things, the sun on your skin, the kindness in a stranger's eyes, the beauty in your own reflection. You discover that joy was never missing. It was only waiting for you to let go. And abundance, my dear ones, is a natural byproduct of trust. Fear says there is not enough. Love says life is abundant. When you trust, you stop clutching at scarcity. You stop believing that everything is against you. And in that shift, you begin to attract prosperity, not just money, but opportunities, creativity, friendships, health, beauty. Abundance is not something you chase. It is something you allow. And trust is the key that opens that door. So let us say this together. When I trust life, life supports me. When I trust love, love surrounds me. When I trust myself, I am free. Say it again and notice how your body feels. There is power in those words because they remind you of the truth. You do not have to force. You do not have to control. You only have to trust. My friends, your life changes the moment you choose trust. Stress shifts to peace. Coincidence shifts to alignment. Control shifts to harmony. Scarcity shifts to abundance. And fear shifts to love. This is not a dream. It is a practice. And every time you practice, you step deeper into freedom. So I invite you now, take one breath of trust. Take one step of trust. Whisper one word of trust. And watch as life begins to respond. The universe has always been for you. Life has always been waiting to support you. All you have to do is say yes.